Welcome to this week's Talking Codswallop. I am Gemma. No James this week. He's actually genuinely not feeling very well, so we're letting him off. But we have got two amazing guests. We have got the Tom. We have got the Tom,
Wow.
the Jamie from the Chronicles podcast.
I mean, I'll take that. The Tom and the Jamie for the Chronicles of podcast. Yeah, it's great. I think you've established some new names there. Well, I don't know how well they're going with guests. They'd be like, we are the Tom and the Jamie, I think you'll find. Cool. Well, I'm out of here.
Well, you two are a bit fucking up yourselves, aren't you? See you later.
Well, you know what? I did come up, but I was actually driving along and I was thinking, oh, okay, I'll come up with a, really great sort of intro for you guys, kind of thing. And then I got stuck in the most ridiculous of traffic. So, and every thought just went out of my mind and I was like, oh. So yeah, you got the Tom, the Jamie. So I do apologize that it wasn't any better than that. But it is still a pleasure to have you guys.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah, you're absolutely welcome. Because the main reason why I wanted to get you guys on was because obviously you've got a very, very awesome event coming up, haven't you? So we wanted to sort of delve into that and, obviously just have a good old chinwag as well. So shall we talk about the event first of all, or?
Whatever you want to talk about, my love. You just ask us questions and we'll answer you. Sure, Sean. We do enough asking questions.
Oh, so I'm going to have to host this one as well.
Yes. You're going to have to host your own show, Gemma, okay?
God damn it. All right, fine. And these are the questions. I love that bit.
I need to hit that pitch because that all came through. It didn't ut out like mine.
It came through for this week's episode, don't worry.
That's all right. That's all right then.
That's what I've been all over your ass.
Baby.
Yeah, so let's first of all let's get into the podcast side of things, because obviously you've had a few changes over the last few years, haven't you? And but the things that have remained the same is the fact that the two of you have been doing the podcast. So, like, for anybody who's not listened before, where did it all sort of begin with you guys? Let's do the origin story. Where did it all begin with you guys as a friendship?
Oh, wow. Okay. So you want to go back to, I want to say 2008?
Yeah, I think it was 2008. We've had this conversation a few times trying to remember. I think we've settled on 2008 now.
I met a guy called Dave Bachelor, who is one of our interviews in our show, who at a club, a night out in 2007. I was very intoxicated and he was wearing the exact same T-shirt as me. So I thought it'd be a really great idea to jump on his back. And he was like, who the fuck is this guy? And his missus at the time was like, who the fuck is this guy? And we ended up becoming really good mates. Fast forward, and he introduced me to quite a few people, Jim being one of them.
Yeah.
So we knew of each other, et cetera, friends on Facebook, the usual gumph of like, oh, I know that person, not very well, but I know them. They're on my Facebook friends side, so I know of them. They're around.
Yeah. And
then in 2012 or 13, Jamie went back to Birmingham and was like, oh shit, I still see my kids. Can anyone put me up? I think it was like one night every 2 weeks of it. And I was like, yeah, all right, stay with me. And from this, the love blossomed. Aww. And they were forever. And that's literally where it came. So then became best mates.
Pretty much, yeah. Literally, obviously we were friends, we were acquainted, we spoke like on Facebook, like Tom said, but literally like out of nowhere, and I put that status, it was like, come stay mine. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
and then just realised just how well we got along, spending all our time together.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's lovely, isn't it? Because it's like, obviously you did the whole Facebook friends.
Yeah.
I think, almost sometimes that can be like you're just being polite with one another in some cases. Obviously, you guys were probably more friendly than being polite. But and then obviously it just kind of organically grew into this blossoming, wonderful friendship that you've got now. So And it really is.
Did you ever shit yourself, Jay, when you're like, I'm going to stay at this guy's house. I don't really know him very well, but I'm going to stay there anyway.
I was a little bit nervous the first night because you know me, I'm quite, I don't want to say antisocial, but I'm a bit anxious around people when I don't know them that well. I was like, I know we're friends, we get along, we don't know each other that well. So I was like, this should be interesting. Let's see what conversation comes. But to be fair, it's just like we've known each other really well for fucking years.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Fast forward to 2019. Oh, no, you did it. No. Let's go back a bit. Let's rewind. Let me rewind that. Sorry. Literally, I think Jamie started a podcast of his own in 2014 called My Favorite Things. Yeah. And you had, I think there's like 6 episodes. And they were about 2.5 hours long.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that show.
That's obviously where the podcasting came from. And then you were like, oh, I'd love to do it again. I think I threw my name in the hat and was like, maybe. Just because, why the fuck not? And then in 2019, I think it was October of 2019. And you were like, so I've got this show. How do you feel about doing it with me? Okay. Which obviously was Superhero Bar Fight back in the day.
Yep.
And we've been going ever since. So did Bar Fight for a bit. Went on to just Chronicles. And did that for a bit. And now here we are, the Chronicles of Podcast. So at TCO Pod for all of you listeners on now on the old social medias, wink, wink and nudge, nudge and all that. How's your father? A bit of umpty pumpty. I don't know. I don't know what Londoners normally say these days.
You did miss one little thing from our origin story, by the way.
What was that?
When you were the best man at my wedding in 2015.
Oh, fuck, yeah. Oh, there was that, yeah. That slight little mishap. I was Jamie's best man as well at his wedding.
Did you have a good, embarrassing speech?
My speech was shit.
It was not shit. The only problem with the
shit.
speech is half of it was missing.
I wanted to try and do it without using cards or letter. I wanted to just basically stand there and project. And then his dad completely threw me off right at the beginning. So I was like, well, I've forgotten absolutely everything in the English language right about now. But asked me for a drink, and I was like, I thought it might help break the ice. Like, no, you actually made it, you reattached the ice is what you did there, John. Put the iceberg back in front of me is what you just fucking did. You made me the Titanic. So yeah, but it was all right. It was good. It was good fun. I think my favorite part was when I knelt in front of Becky to give her the ring or give you rings. I knelt in front of you both, which got a nice little laugh. I was quite happy with that.
It was glorious. Glorious day. And there's a fantastic photo of me and Becky sat on a bench with Tom behind us, like stretched out like this.
Doing that, oh yeah.
Fucking beautiful photo. Because, that went down really well for audio listeners of the show. But there we go,
Yeah. I was going to say, I'd like to see that photo as well. So, I mean, obviously I won't put it on social media, but
I think it is on social media, isn't it?
It probably is on my Facebook somewhere, I imagine. I'll find it for you. I'll find it. It's a great photo. But yeah, like Tom said, I did that podcast on my own. It was pretty dreadful interviewing people on my own. My first guest was a member of the cast from Clerks. So everyone who knows me how much of a Kevin Smith fan I am, I absolutely shit the bed on it because I was just so nervous. Never done anything like this before in my life.
Yeah, that's oh god, I've forgotten. I've completely blanked on his name, but I know he's been a guest on ours as well, isn't he?
Scott Schaffer.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah, I was completely blanking for a second there. I've done lots of work today, so my brain is a little bit mushy.
Wonderful human being, but no, I really wanted to get back into it because I love podcasting. I listen to it more than I listen to anything else.
Yeah,
and like I was offered a show to do with a great idea, the Superhero Bar Fight, and I needed a co-host, and I was like, I can't think of anyone better to ask. The man's got charisma and personality at the one. So I was like, as he proves every freaking week. So I asked him, and he was like, oh, I don't know, this is quite different. Oh, yeah, go on, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where who wants to listen to you talk for 15, 20 minutes? I know it started with being 15, 20 minutes. Who wants to listen to that?
4 hours later.
Yeah.
People would love a 15, 20-minute show out of us now, probably.
As a listener, I'd say no thank you. I would rather have whatever you want to provide rather than a shortened episode, because you put so much effort and content into this into your podcast, don't you? So you've got the you've got the interview in the middle, and you've got all the extra fun parts. So basically you're 2 podcasts within one episode, you know what I mean? So, and that's
basically what it is.
Good.
And the way I see it with podcasts as well is, unlike TV shows, is if you've not got time to listen to it in one go, press pause.
Yes.
You come back to it. I don't remember the last time I listened to one podcast from start to end in one sitting. It doesn't matter. So no matter how long it is, I listen to some podcasts that are like 4 hours long. It doesn't matter. You'll get through it eventually.
Yeah. Fuck this podcast for 4 hours.
Well, Kevin Smith, probably.
Kevin Smith could. I listen to a lot of wrestling podcasts, and they do like reviews of pay-per-views and stuff. They go on for 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
To me, I think there's a lot of people different, aren't they? I think I'd be there like, there's no way I'm going to do that. Just no way. I look at hours and go, oh, Jesus, I can't listen to that again.
Thank God I was there to experience it, because I ain't listening back.
Gemma,
yeah.
let me ask you something, right?
Go on, then.
How's Codswallop? How's life in the old Talking Codswallop? No, let me ask you, how's your podcast going?
Yeah, it's going well, thank you. Yeah, it's going really well, actually.
Yeah.
We've had a bit of a boost in numbers, which is good.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, remember we're about 4 years old. So, it's taken a long time, but we've definitely had a bit of a boost, which is very, very good. But yeah, it's going well. I mean, we're always sick, so that's never a good thing, but
Yeah, I swear, every time it comes to that point where James is like, oh, you have them 2 again. Yeah, no, not for me. Oh, I've got leeches. Yeah, that's what it is. It's definitely, yeah, and they're inside. Yeah. It's like the remainder of what blood I have left. Yeah.
I was actually quite shocked and amazed when James turned up to the Batman episode I did with him. I was like, he's just going to leave, isn't it? I'm just going to be just me sat there talking about Batman on my own.
No, James does send his apologies, because he basically messaged me and said that he was feeling really rough, because I think because where he's still got the symptoms of like the long COVID and stuff, he's really sort of struggling with different sort of aspects of it. So it's like with the tiredness and just general aching of everything, but he's just an achy, grumpy asshole, so let's not be too nice about him. But at the same time, he really genuinely did want to send his apologies, because I kind of was like, well, if you're really that ill, it's like, shall I just say you're not going to be there, because otherwise he's only going to sit here and be grumpy. So
we don't want him being grumpy in his natural self. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's I get to hang out with the 2 wonderful, Tom and Jamie's.
The Tom and the Jamie.
The Tom and the Jamie. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm pleased it's all going well, bar the illnesses and whatnot.
Yeah,
that's good.
But no, we're still enjoying it. We're still having fun with it. So that's the main thing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Trying to just, I think it's quite easy with us in a way, because we just do the podcast in the sense that we just sit down and we just talk to one another and kind of see what happens. It's, we do plan a little bit, but not as much as like you guys do, because obviously you have to do a lot of prep work for your like interviews and things, don't you? So yeah. We just literally will sit down, turn on the microphone and go, oh yeah, you're all right. Yeah, I'm good. Kind of thing. So yeah.
That's the thing. Sometimes I don't think some people realise how much preparation goes into some podcasts. Like you said, we prep for our interviews. Tom collects all these thoughts for Tom's journal.
Yeah,
we're getting hold of Callum for his treachings. I'm getting out these questions for the audience participation.
Yeah,
if we're not recording, we're doing stuff behind the scenes to get the show together ready.
Emails, the website, the IMDb.
Yeah,
I don't know what else there is. Editing, the video editing, and I come in and just talk and fuck off again.
Well, I was trying to just say it as a group. I wasn't being mean.
That's fine. No, I know you weren't. I know you weren't at all. But Jamie basically does all the fucking, he does everything. Literally. Yeah. I think I maybe email 1 or 2 guests here and there. And that's about
it. So you're James, basically, in this scenario, and Jamie is me, is what you're saying.
Essentially.
Yeah. Because to be honest, it's like, even though I say, oh yeah, we just turn the microphones on, but I do have to put a lot of thought into it. But it's the recording part is the fun part, and then it's like the editing part is like. And although I love editing, so I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to editing anyway, so I do love that, but I haven't got the video side of things. It is only just audio for us, so it's not too bad from that point of view. But it's one of those things you just got to get on with it. But after a while, you're just like.
I don't get me wrong. I do have those weeks. I sit down to edit, and I'm like, I cannot be fucked with this. I would rather pull out my eye with a spoon right now than do this. But we crack on. We have an audience to please.
Exactly. But no, you both bring a lot to the podcast. So Tom, don't think that you don't bring anything. You're a good lad.
I don't think I don't bring anything. I just talk and fuck off. That's all I do. I don't actually. Yeah. Behind the scenes, I'm like, Jay, have you done that yet? Jay, have you done that? Jay, can you do that? Jay, can you make sure you get that done as well? Make sure you do this as well and do that as well. And make sure that's done. And then once that's done, you got to do this and this as well. Cool. I'll be in the jacuzzi.
So you're the delegator then, is what you're saying?
I haven't even got a jacuzzi. So
he just sits in the bath and farts.
Oh, come on, Tom. Laugh. We want to see you laugh.
Oh, you will, don't you worry.
Oh.
Oh, you
I'll
will.
laugh when you two start being fucking funny. That's what I'll.
Well, I think you're funny, Jamie. You make me laugh.
Thank you.
So, right. Obviously, we've kind of alluded to it, but the Chronicles of Podcast. So, obviously, this is now the new podcast, and you release 2 episodes a week at the moment, because obviously got quite a lot of back catalog. So it's obviously a Wednesday show and a Friday show. But yeah, tell us sort of, a little bit about what guests you've had on, what kind of things that you've enjoyed, which interviews you've really enjoyed doing.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Well, in regards to the Wednesday show, obviously we alluded, we did Chronicles and Superhero Bar Fight, and we did loads of amazing interviews, and we didn't want to lose them.
Yeah.
So, we were like, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to use our smart marketing minds, and we came up with hashtag WBW Way Back Wednesday.
Yes.
And it's basically all those old interviews we did. We just bring them over to our new channel, do a little catch up at the start, say what the person's been doing since we last spoke to them, because we just want them all in one place.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. And there's so many amazing interviews, people we've spoken to who we've made friends with now. We didn't want to lose that content. So we brought that over. We got to sit down with people like Jarrett Reddick, the lead singer from Bowling for Soup, which is nuts. And our first big interview, big celebrity interview, which meant the world to us. And Braden Barry, Mr. Say We Can Fly, as I like to call him, has now become one of Tom's best friends.
Yeah,
we're now sponsored by his clothing line. In fact, I've just realised both me and Tom are wearing Stay Cozy hoodies right now. And and we didn't want to lose that content, so we decided to bring that over as well. And then every Friday it's the meaty bad boy,
the brand new show every week.
New show every week.
We thought Friday 6 p.m. would be a good time, because obviously people are finishing work, get ready for their weekend, they want something to listen to. So we thought Friday at 6 would be good. And then Jamie geniusly came up with Way Back Wednesday. We came up with a few, I think. He had Throwback, which is the usual, Throwback Thursday, and Monday was months ago Monday or something. It was, yeah.
I was struggling with Monday.
So we thought, fuck it. I think Wednesday would be good. Way Back is good. We've only got 5 weeks left to fill with the video ones, and then we're going even further back to the audio, the ones that were only audio. So don't you worry, yours will be coming soon. Don't you fret.
How exciting.
It's fucking ancient. So it's it's going to be so interesting to hear what the interviews were like way back compared to now. We've been interviewing for 2 years?
About 2 years.
Podcasting for almost 3. But the interview quality just has exceeded. So you mentioned Jarrett Reddick. Tom Stade was actually our first proper big interview. We interviewed Tom Stade, the Canadian comedian.
You're correct. I do apologize.
In May of 2020, and that was absolutely one of the greatest interviews ever. So we had him back the year later.
Yeah.
I did it all over again, and it was even better the second time round. to the point where Tom has actually said that he wants to do it on a yearly basis and he loves coming on our show because we won't see him live, and that's exactly what came out of his face. But personally for me, there's been some real highlight. Noel McNeil is a massive one for me because obviously he works with my daddy, my favorite comedian in the whole entire world, John Oliver. He is the puppeteer for Last Week Tonight. He's worked on Sesame Street and that sort of thing. Rab himself is another absolutely massive one. That was just, I think there was more laughter than words in that interview.
Yes.
Just some of those stories. Oh my God. I'd love to talk to him again because it's great. But then you've had like Mark Bernardin. That was absolutely phenomenal as well. And that was one of our earlier ones. Like, I didn't even know who the hell the guy was until I spoke to him. So just, it's great. We take people from all walks of life, from anywhere and everywhere. And, we sit down and talk to them and just have a great chat. It's just great. So much fun. And it's just like mates sitting around a table, having a cup of tea or a beer and just chatting.
Yeah, exactly. And as a listener as well, you feel like you're part of the chat as well, even though you obviously can't actually verbalize. Although sometimes in my car I go, oh, Tom, that was really funny. Oh, Tom's not here. Or Jamie,
I'm really no. That's great to hear. Though. I love that. I love that you also feel part of the conversation, even though you physically aren't there. That makes sense. Yeah. So that's one. No, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's really good to know.
Yeah, you're welcome. You guys are definitely, like, I know you like to say this sentence, so smashing it out of the park. Really, honest to God, with the content that you're bringing out, you are doing such an amazing job, the both of you, that, it kind of feels like you've been doing it for years and years rather than the, in some ways, short space of time that you've been doing it. So, keep going. You're doing well.
Thanks, Jem. I appreciate that.
No, I really appreciate that. But like Tom said, I'm so happy it comes across that, because with people we talk to, they must have to sit down and do some of the most boring interviews.
Yeah.
And answering the same questions all the time. So we like to mix it up. Okay, you've got the obvious questions in there because there's the obvious things that people want to know. But then, we don't like to be so formal. It's sitting around getting to know someone, just learning about, chronicling their life and career, as I like to put it in my emails, because that's what it's, just getting to know someone. And so, we've interviewed some famous people like Jarrett Reddick, Tom Stein, but there's also, we've interviewed people who, they're not that well known. The independent people, like the Way Back Wednesday that came out today as we're recording this. He's an independent artist from Brighton. He literally just sits and does his doodles. He's made some books he's put on Amazon, selling for his own make. He's not world famous. He's not all that well known, but he's so talented. And I loved the message he was putting out there. And I was like, I want more people to know about this guy. So let's go talk to him. He's stupidly talented. Let's go learn more about him. Let's get some more eyes on him because he's awesome.
Yeah. And the only way that you're going to be able to do that is by opening up, reaching out to people and, and sitting down and recording with them, basically, isn't it? So,
exactly.
It's great for you guys, but it's also great for them to get other ears and eyes, because obviously you put your videos up on YouTube as well. So, ears and eyes onto all these different projects and stuff like that people are doing. So, yeah, I quite like, there was two, I think it was two people, wasn't it, that they had the origin story. You sort of said, oh, where did it all begin for you? And it's like the whole episode is taken up by their answer, isn't it? Near enough.
That's Steve Laporte and Pierre Bohanna.
Yeah, that's the ones. Yeah they literally
that Pierre Bohanna one. It's just like, so what did you want to be when you grew up? Half an hour later we found out what he wanted to be, how he got to where he is, all the stuff he's done. Like, and now the second question.
I love shit like that. Oh, there you get the ones that are actual jerk there. So Kylie Olsen, for example, I told her she saw the legs of Ozzy Osbourne's chair. Just shit like that. It's not your bog standard. What do you want? Why are you a musician? Why do you like music? Why do you write that song? We sit there and just almost not take the piss, but it is that sort of informal, formal kind of thing, vibe, as people say these days.
Yeah, like banter. Sort of a little bit as well, isn't it? Yeah. So, yeah. Do you ever find, though, that it can be, because obviously we're British people, we've got that kind of sense of humor, you know, the sort of banter, the cheeky kind of side of things. But do you ever find sometimes with when you're recording like with Americans that they maybe don't understand quite what you're getting at or anything like that? Or have you not experienced that?
There's a moment in this interview coming out this Friday where I said something and he took me seriously, and I was like, yeah, I look a right penis. So yeah, that's been enjoying on Friday. I'm just trying to think now.
I think you get the odd moment when me and Tom are laughing, then you look at the guests and they're like,
there was
I don't think they get it.
Diana Wang was one, the Jackie Chan's vocal coach. Excuse me. When I was making jokes about, because her wall was completely white and she blurred herself out, so it was like she was in like some massive void. And I was like, bloody hell, Diana, wasn't you living some sort of like making jokes about being living in a void? There's nothing around. She just went and just stared at me, and I was like, oh, cool. Well, we're off to a flyer here, boys.
You often find that those interviews where they start and it feels a little bit awkward because you're still getting to know each other, and then by the end of it, you're best friends.
Yes.
I love those ones.
Yeah. Or, I mean, it's the really awkward ones. I mean, I've had it from time to time. You know, it's been years and years because we don't have guests very often, obviously. But so I know that I've had like guests occasionally, you know, sort of like it's almost a bit like maybe pulling teeth a little bit, and it's trying to get the information out, and it just feels awkward. It's a bit like yes, no answers. But I suppose people are different, aren't they? So you've just got to adapt to the different ways that people are, really.
But like I said, that's the way backs. And then every Friday now it's just saying, you know, we've got brand new episodes every week. And we've interviewed again some amazing people, some dream come true moments.
Yeah.
You know?
Hugely. But then we actually took some shit seriously the past couple of weeks by interviewing a sexpert and someone who works in boudoir.
Yes.
So, you know, we're expanding our horizon slightly by, you know, venturing off into more serious subjects, more mature conversation in a way. So yeah, sorry, Jamie, I was just wanting to jump in before you carried on.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, you're absolutely right.
I was actually going to jump in as well, because obviously you there's a couple of interviews that I can think of as well that are obviously quite important ones. But it was one you spoke to, I'm sorry if I can't remember the people's names, but you spoke to a doctor and
Dr. Sia.
Yes.
Sia Maxala.
Yeah. And it was like, you know, it was quite nice. It was quite interesting to hear you guys, because obviously he was of a sort of professional nature. So instead of being sort of, you know, jovey, chatty self sort of thing, you were a bit more on the, it sounds wrong to say professional side, but you know what I mean, don't you?
Yeah. Hopefully. Although I did ask about the umbrella up the arse, didn't I?
I was going to say, is this the same conversation where Tom asked him what the weirdest fingers to pull out someone's arse was, or something along those lines?
but no, you are right.
Yeah,
there's more. I mean, I'll still get the odd one in there because I can't help myself. I find it's our show. It's what we do. You know, we do have a mature conversation. We do like to sit down with people properly and have those conversations about, you know, even like we're trying to stay away from real world topics for obvious reasons. But you know, it's like being able, but we've proven that we do have that other side that we don't jaff. What's jaff? Laugh and joke and piss around all the time. Do you know what I mean? We do have the other side where we can sit down with somebody and be like, tell me about that. You know, mental health does matter. You know, body positivity. Body positivity. The Dane Campbell interview. Dane Campbell, the son of legendary guitarist from Motorhead, Phil Campbell. Yes. Jamie sat and chatted to him for 40 minutes about, you know, how they don't like the way they look. Which is absolutely amazing. I was just sat back and like, well, you know, but it was just a huge moment for Jamie. It was nice to see you were there going, this is amazing. I was like, well, I'm just going to sit back because
it was like hearing myself talk. It was weird but wonderful at the same time. It was very therapeutic.
Yeah, and it is, isn't it? It's so nice. It's nice when you have that connection with somebody and you can really sort of get to grips with it and stuff like that, and you can get your teeth into it, sort of thing. You know, not body weight and stuff like that, but you know, that's me making a joke. Sorry.
If only it was that easy, just bite it off.
Oh God, I wish. But
no, that is what I love about our interviews, though. It's, you know, we get to talk to people who we admire and love. but also our friends and promote what they're doing and stuff like that. And yeah, I just love it. I just love a good conversation.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So I agree. I absolutely love it as well. So I was obviously going to then lead on to, obviously, you had an amazing interview with, unfortunately now the late Sylvia Lancaster. Yeah. So, and sadly, I mean, from a selfish point of view, I really wanted to speak to her as well. But the fact that you guys actually did sit down and actually managed to speak to her, and I was able to listen to, what you guys discussed, that felt almost like I'd had that opportunity as well, if that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, I sadly missed it by a month or so. So, sadly. But so for anybody who doesn't know, Sylvia Lancaster is the mum of Sophie Lancaster. I can't believe I just hesitated with that. There's a banner behind Tom saying Sophie, and on my arm, I've got a little band that says Sophie. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so she was a heavy metal fan, and she got brutally beaten up, her and her boyfriend. And it was such a horrendous situation, wasn't it? And sadly, Sophie died. So, I mean, that's kind of the, overview of what happened. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was such a sad moment. I even remember like my dad at the time sort of looking over at me, because I was of the same, sort of dress sense and music sense, and being like, I don't want you to dress like that anymore after witnessing, what had happened to Sophie, unfortunately. But yeah, so yeah, how was the experience when you sat down with Sylvia?
Huge.
Yeah,
I have to say it was quite like you said, when that news story broke out in 2007, I remember being sat in my little my little studio bed sit that I had all by myself in Cheltenham, and just cried my eyes out.
Yeah,
just straight, because I was like, oh, this is happening now. This is a thing. Why is this a thing? Because people tend to lash out, or when they don't understand something, they don't like it, do they?
No.
So, and people need to probably understand that change more, or understand it more, rather, go and educate yourself, rather than be like, well, if I don't like it, I'll attack it, I'll kill it. But the interview itself, so when we got to interview it, because Jamie was like, I think you'd reached out, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Did you put it in the calendar, or did you tell me? I can't remember what happened.
I think I just put it in the calendar.
Yeah, but I went, oh my fuck!
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, okay. This is happening. And now, did we have the conversation before or after about the affiliation side of it? I think it was afterwards.
Afterwards. We basically, I had this idea. I was like, this is a charity that means a lot to me and Tom. We were both around when this happened. We were both young, like, alternative kids. And I stumbled upon a post about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. I was like, do you know what? It'd be quite fascinating to learn more about this. You see the Sophie wristbands all the time. It'd be fascinating to learn more about the foundation itself. Yeah. So I reached out, and I was like, and they said, yeah, absolutely fine. Let's do this. I was like, okay, well, this is quite, and that was when I truly got nervous, because I was like, this is unlike anyone we've spoken to before.
Yeah.
We're going to have a conversation about her daughter being murdered. And I was so nervous. I really was.
Yeah.
But it was wonderful.
Yeah.
So Sylvia, God bless her soul, was one of the most amazing people I've ever spoken to. And she just, the work they do, herself as a woman, she was so inspirational. And it was just absolutely mind-blowing. And like literally after we finished talking to her, me and Tom talked to each other, and we're like, do you know what? I would love to rep this brand every single week on our show. Even if it's just a little video at the start, just saying, please take 5 minutes, go look into this foundation and the wonderful work they do. And if you can support, please do it. And it's turned into this wonderful blossoming friendship we've now got with the whole foundation. And it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's Sylvia, like I say, Sylvia was just an incredible, incredible woman. And she absolutely stole our hearts. And it's when you think I'm going to talk to the head of a charity foundation, horrible things have happened in this woman's life. And she was one of the funniest, light-hearted people I've ever spoken to in my life. Not what we expected at all.
It was especially when I think I think it was the fact that, like obviously she was out, or she'd moved house, didn't she?
Yes.
When unfortunately Sophie had been beaten up. And I think it was Tom, possibly anyway, that there's something else event had happened. And and she'd moved house again. And it was like, Tom was like, did you just keep moving, don't you? So people can't find you.
Always on the run. Always on the run was that.
That's because I think it was the Conservatives. David Cameron maybe was trying to get hold of her, or the Queen or something.
Yeah, David Cameron.
I was like, just trying to run away from it, just trying to hide from everybody. That's what we're trying to do. No, she was amazing. Like it just, and to now, be affiliated with them. It was generally just a 3-month thing, like see how it goes, and we're still going strong. So it's incredible. It's really a dream come true to be able to represent something that's so near and dear to us, like Jamie said.
Yes. And
obviously now, constantly when these affiliations have started, a lot of the world was still closed. We know nothing was really happening. There was no gigs on. There wasn't anything happening. Yep. But now we can start moving forward with plans. And obviously, I assume we'll talk about it shortly, what our first big event we're going to do. But then we've got other things planned we're going to do as well. So, we're hoping we can raise as much awareness and as much money for these guys as physically possible. Yeah,
absolutely. And you are quite right. This is me naturally leading to the event. Segue, segment. So, yes. So, obviously, you guys are putting on an event on the 28th of May.
Yeah.
Yes. I have my ticket. I cannot wait. I'm really, really excited. And looking forward to meeting you, Tom, in real life as well. That'll be fun.
Oh, first time ever.
I know. It's really exciting.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, definitely. So what is the event then that you are putting on?
We are putting on a gig in memory of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, raising money for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, and now in memory of Sylvia as well. Mm-hmm. 4 huge bands are joining us. We are very, very excited and very honoured to be joined by these 4 bands themselves. There will be interviews with each one of them coming out this month from the Chronicles of Podcast. So please do check those out with a bonus special guest. Or a few, actually, there's quite a few special guests this month. So I can't wait. I'm so excited to release those. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. We are putting on a show at Scruffy Murphy's in Birmingham, May 28th. It's a Saturday, 7 p.m. It's headlined by the incredible Mighty Wraith, who are from the Black Country, supported by the amazing Neptune Rain. If you haven't listened to Neptune Rain, you need to go listen to them. Death is a Girl, fronted by one of my best friends, Joe Green, who we've also had on the show before.
Yep.
On our show, sorry. I'm so used to doing our show that it really threw me for a second then. And of course, Second City, who are also from Birmingham. So it's going to be a monumental gig. We also have a very special guest coming as well, but I will not tell. Okay. You will have to be there Saturday 28th to find out just who that is.
Is it me?
Yes, it's you. You have to sing an entire set.
Don't tempt me. I'll clear my voice now.
I cannot implore people enough to grab a ticket, to put the Chronicles of Podcast live into Facebook, and you will find the events, and the See Tickets link is there. Please get your ticket, £7 or £8 on the door.
Yes. And then if you also want to donate to the charity part, I know that all proceeds go to the charity as well, but with regards to the tickets, I think £7 online, but also you can pay £11 and all of that goes then to the...
Correct.
Yeah.
So if you are unable to make it but still want to donate, you can do so. Or you can go onto our website at www.chroniclesofpodcast.com, and there is a Just Giving page on there as well.
Yeah.
So we've got it all covered. But no, it's going to be amazing. We've got, like Tom said, we've got a special guest. We're trying to we're just going to make this as much fun as we can.
Yes. Yeah.
It's going to be an absolute laugh. I'm not going to lie, as I said before, I'm absolutely shitting myself. I've never done anything like this before in my life. But it's going to be so much fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait. I just want to raise as much money for these guys as possible.
That's exactly it.
And see 4 incredible bands.
Yeah.
Like these bands were all recommended to us as well, which makes it even better for us, but by people who experience the local music scene. So, we know we've got the best of the best of the local music. Second Cities are absolutely fantastic. They're really young, up and coming band. Singer's got a great voice. The guitarist has the best hair I've ever seen on a man in my life. And plus they're called Second Cities because Birmingham is the second city. So naturally I needed to have them on our show.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Deaf is a girl, Joe Green, good friend of ours, former guest, one of the best vocalists you will hear in this entire country.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because he's a friend. The man's voice is stunning. Like, if he could just sing me bedtime stories, I'd be so happy.
But also has great hair, so...
And also does have great hair.
Yeah, he's a guitarist, so yeah.
And I'm thinking about it. The singer from the Mighty Wraith has got great hair as well. We've got a great selection of hair for everyone to come check out on this show.
Come for the music, stay for the hair.
Damn right.
Yeah. Are you guys going to be doing anything with regards to like doing a live podcast, or are you?
So, have you ever been to a gig where it doesn't stop? So you know how normally between bands, there's no one on.
Yep.
We are going to be hosting this show in between the bands. So you're going to have us at the beginning, and then you're going to have us after the bands each time. You are also going to get live Callum's Treachings as well. He is going to be joining us as well. He will be there. Very excited for that as well. So you're going to get the full Chronicles of Podcast treatment is what you're going to get. So for those of you who don't listen to our show, Callum, again, is another one of my best mates. His last name is Treacher. So, of course, he's teaching. So he's treaching the world.
Yeah.
And you just need them in your life because they're probably some of the greatest things. Jamie's words were, why is the best part of our show not include us? So, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, is cereal soup?
Oh, that's one of my favourite treaches ever.
Yeah.
Is it called sand because it's between the sea and the land? That was another great one as well.
Yes.
There's a wonderful one on this week's episode that just absolutely blew my mind.
Yeah.
Oh, I love him so much.
Yeah. Normally I'd be like, oh, can you tell me it? But no, I really don't want. Because the thing is that it's like his delivery of it as well, isn't it? It's just like so perfect. Everything.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And plus the man is built like a tank. So if you don't laugh, you're just going to be too scared to not laugh.
Oh, there you go then.
But no, it's wonderful. Like Tom said, me and him are going to host the event. We'll try and get people involved. We're just going to have a great laugh. Play it by ear, most likely. But we're just going to have so much fun.
Yeah.
And what was kind of involved with regards to organising this? Because obviously it's not a quick fix kind of thing that you can like do overnight, is it? So
we touched a lot of venues. So we talked to the venues. Scruffys were down. It was affordable as well. So, quite a bit of money's gone into it. Quite a lot of work's gone into it. It's no easy feat, to put it that way. It was meant to be a weekender. There was meant to be a second night, but the people I was in touch with in regards to the Sunday were shocking. So they were like, yeah, and then nada.
Yeah.
So I won't name it. I'm not here to bash or tear on apart, so I won't do that. So we had booking the venue, and then we had to go around and book bands. And now going book bands. Fair play to all four of them. They are taking absolutely nothing for doing this show.
Oh,
and
that's amazing!
Huge, absolutely huge. It was. I would have understood if they did ask, but I was like, it's for charity. We want to make sure that we can send all the proceeds to charity. That's what we'd like to do. The Mighty Wraith very kindly then said you can use our backline. Every single band can use the backline, so you don't have to worry about that, which is like PAs and drums and that sort of thing. So that's absolutely beautiful. Yeah. The other thing I will be supplying to them is we're going to be putting on refreshments for them just to say thank you. And we've got our professional photographer coming. And we've got our own sound engineer. So
that's good.
It's kind of, it kind of works. So we've not to sound like a cheapskate, but we're trying to do this as cheaply as possible.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense though, because you want the majority of the money or all of the money or however to go to the foundation, don't you? So that is the thing. Things can be done on a budget. It's like, I know it's not the same thing, but when people get married, for example, you got the people that are paying like millions of pounds or whatever for, a certain wedding. And then you've got somebody else who's, spending $1,000 and having exactly the same sort of day, because it's all about the people getting married. So I know it's not about a marriage right in a second, but it's
you spoiled the end now. That's what me and Tom are going to do right at the end.
Are we?
Oh, well, there you go.
Shit!
I hadn't been invited to that party. I must have missed that memo.
I was looking forward to slipping my ring on your finger.
Not again, Jay. It took me 4 days to fucking clean it the last time. And the smell. Oh. Sorry.
I can't help myself. Sorry.
Just unfortunately, I took a sip of drink at the same time as you were talking about that. So I was trying not to spray the camera.
A dark, liquidy beverage while they're talking about putting their bum on fingers. Lovely, lovely. How delicious.
But yeah, so I mean, incredible work that you've obviously done. And yeah, like I said, any of the Salty Tadpoles, because as you guys know that our listeners are called Salty Tadpoles. So anyone who is in the Birmingham area or not in the Birmingham area, because you know what, I'm not, and I'm making it up.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
Get a train, get a bus, get a coach. There's plenty of hotels. It's Birmingham city centre, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Just come on down.
Yes.
And have some fun.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be an absolute whale of a time.
Exactly. It is. It's going to be so much fun. And I really, really can't wait, to be completely honest. Can't wait to see you guys, but also I can't wait to see, what you guys have pulled off. And even if anything goes wrong on the evening, which there may be things that go wrong on the evening, because that's what happens in life, it doesn't matter, because you know what, your hearts are in it. And
precisely,
most people will just go, oh, and then move on. So,
we're staying positive, Jeb. We're staying positive that nothing does go wrong. So we're going to work out the logistics of it all and how it's going to run and what we're going to do, blah, 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 blah. So it's just going to be a good laugh. And it's all for a great charity. It's all for a good cause. We want to raise as much money as we can. If we sell out, it'll be unreal, to say the least. Put it that way. That's what we want ultimately. We want to sell the fucker out. So please come on down. Scruffy Murphy's in Birmingham, Saturday the 20th of May at 7 p.m. You do not want to miss it.
And for those that are worried, be oblong.
And for those that are wondering, because I know some people are, I'm a patron of Scruffy's in the past. Beer's recently priced as well. It's a good price in there. So don't worry about paying too much for a beer either.
Yay. Well, that's good. That's good, definitely. And yeah, sorry, Tom, I didn't mean that anything would go wrong, but I was more kind of reassuring Jamie, because I know that that's the kind of thing that he would worry about. So yeah.
Good old overthinker over here.
Jamie, I got you, dude. Don't worry. It's going to be, it's going to be a bit like, but once we're up there, I think it's going to be amazing. I really, really do.
I tell you what, I know it sounds weird, but we interviewed the Mighty Wraith, the headlining band, last night, ready for a future episode. And it really put my mind at ease talking to those guys in a way, because just talking to their lead singer, we know it's going to be a great night, because that man has so much energy and so much personality. I was like, even if it all goes wrong, he's going to entertain everyone.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be incredible.
Wow.
But please, everyone, go check out these bands, because they're incredible. So even if you can't make it to the show, go support these bands regardless, because they're doing this for us and they deserve all the love you can give them, because they are amazing.
Agreed. Massively agree.
Yeah, and let's face it, like you said, you've got the option of buying a ticket, even if you can't make the event. I mean, obviously, if you can make the event, that would be amazing. But if you can't make the event and you buy a ticket, it all goes to an amazing cause. And £7, really, let's face it, it's like if you went to Starbucks, you get a coffee. You probably get a coffee, but you get a coffee, tiny little bit of cake, So what's more important, that coffee and bit of cake, or,
Or the Tom and the Jamie. Who's more important to you, coffee, cake, or the Tom and the Jamie?
I would just like to throw my name in the hat for a second, if I may. I don't know what the term was, so I could think of. I just want to say something. If anybody is in the Cardiff area on Saturday, the 14th of May, I would really, really appreciate it if you could come on down to Specsavers Opticians, where I work on Queen Street in Cardiff. We're having a massive charity bake sale, also for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, which is we're doing a whole come as you like, come as you feel comfortable, come as you day sort of thing. Yeah. And we're going to have an absolute shit ton of cakes to sell. Absolutely loads. And it's going to be amazing. Come and have an eye test or two at the same time, but still come and support the wonderful charity that is the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, where we'll be raising loads of money by having a bake sale. Specsavers Opticians on Queen Street in Cardiff, Saturday the 14th. Come on down.
Yeah. Is that an all-day event then? So from 9 to 5?
9 to 5:30.
5:30. Okay. Well, there you go. But I mean, you got to get there early to get the decent cakes. I'm sure they will be decent. So yeah.
When we did it about 3 or 4 months ago for International Women's Day, 2 months ago for International Women's Day.
Yeah.
It was insane. So
people love cake.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Love cake.
And I thought Saturday would be better because they did it on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. So I think on a Saturday, students and maybe loads of kids and stuff. So
and holiday makers.
The boys
and
thought
stuff.
about it. You know what I mean? The boys thought about it because there'll be kids. Let's just put it that way.
Kids love cake.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Like I said, that's 2 of the events we're going to do this year. We've got something lined up we can't quite talk about just yet. And then I've hinted at it before on our show that we're going to do a charity bike ride as well, cycling from my house all the way to Backup Park in Lincoln, where the horrible thing happened to
Lancashire, Lancaster, not Lincoln.
Did I say Lincoln?
You said Lincoln. Yeah, Lincoln.
I meant Lancashire. Why did I say Lincoln?
Mate, if you're going to talk to Lincoln, fair play.
No, that's too far. I'll go past the park and I should have stopped there instead.
No, Lincoln's east. It's up near the East Coast.
I'm not very good at geography.
No, I know you're not. I could tell.
It's further away. Yeah, it's further away. Okay. But regardless, we're planning on doing that cycle. How long did I say it was going to take?
10 hours.
10 hours, wasn't it? 10-hour cycle.
Ooh.
I'm not cycling back. We're not cycling back. We're going to get the train back, but we're going to cycle there.
Yeah, I was going to say you definitely need some sort of leg protection, and maybe groin protection.
Oh yeah, my arse is going to be dead.
And protection, just in general.
Yes.
Yeah. Just anything and everything of the sort.
But no.
Are you looking forward to doing this now, Tom, or not really?
We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, we could always, be along the side, and I could drive along the side, and we could be like Jamie's cheerleaders.
Oh, it's like that, is it? Okay, I'll do all the work, and you two will sit in a car and hoot and holler at me.
I mean, obviously, also your girlfriend could drive you as well. Sorry, I'm just taking the spot there, but
She'll probably I'm not doing that. I'm going all that way.
Yeah, to drive 10 mile an hour alongside a cyclist.
Point, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
On A roads as well, yeah, forget that one.
Yeah. Oh,
but no, that's something I want to do. And what I'm thinking about doing as well is getting a collection thing and putting it around my neck with a T-shirt that says cycling this far to raise this much money. So if people are walking past me, they could put some money in my bucket. I had that idea earlier on today and I wanted to vocalise it so I didn't forget it.
Yeah, fair enough. Look, that's forever cemented now. So, or you could have, like a little, I don't know, something in the back sort of thing,
A little bucket hanging off the back of the bike.
Yeah, you get like some chavs come along. I suppose you shouldn't really call them chavs now, with the whole, the meaning of like what Sophie stands for. I suppose we shouldn't really say chav, but you still get some bugger anyway. Come along and actually steal the money out of it.
That was the most British thing ever. We shouldn't call them chavs. Some buggers.
Anywhere, I thought I'd bring the farmer out. Oh well, I think this seems like a really good place to obviously wrap everything up here. But obviously, before we go, what's your social media? I think we'll probably hand over to Tom unless Jamie wants to do it, but he does it so amazingly.
He does it expertly every week.
Okay, do you want it done in the Chronicles of Podcast style, do you?
Of course, yes.
Okay. So I can't. It's hard to, because obviously there's been no participation challenge. So If you enjoy a participation challenge run by Jamie Westwood, if you enjoy my journal that I do every single week where I bring loads of absolute bollocks to the on a weekly basis, if you enjoy Callum's Treachings, by the way, did I mention that I brought a special talking consult with Callum Streech with me?
No, you
did. I not mention this?
No, you didn't mention this to me.
So I have brought a treaching from Callum just for you for this episode.
Ooh.
All right. Yeah. I thought it'd be nice.
Yeah, I'm really excited now.
Because I didn't know this was happening either.
I also brought Codswap. I didn't realize we're ending. So I've brought the whole thing to the table here, the whole shebang.
Well, Jamie said that unfortunately you weren't here, but Jamie said he didn't have any Codswallop, so I thought we'll just. But you're more than welcome to share your Codswallop.
Okay. Well, let me first of all. Callum is treaching the entire Talking Codswallop universe. So, guys. What is Callum treaching us this week?
Theme parks can capture a crystal clear picture of you going like 80 miles an hour, but banks can't get a clear picture of a bank robber standing still.
That is phenomenal. That is absolutely. He does it again. It's exactly what you get on a weekly basis on the Chronicles of Podcast every single Friday. The boy is just
amazing.
That is amazing. How the fuck do theme parks have this sort of technology that banks don't? Yeah. Have you got the robber? Well, unfortunately not, because Barclays didn't have CCTV. But actually, Donington Theme Park World of Adventures had this. There's a roller coaster at 3 p.m. with the bags of loot, the prick. Got him.
Oh my God. I really want that to happen now.
You want a bank to get robbed, Gemma?
Oh, yeah, just so that the photo comes out right.
But still, yeah, so you can get Jamie's participation challenge, Tom's journal, and as you just heard, Callum's Treachings every single Friday on the Chronicles of Podcast. If you come and find us on Spotify, Google, or Apple Podcasts at the Chronicles of Podcast, you can also find us on YouTube at the Chronicles of Podcast. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you get notified of when videos are released, and comment as much as physically fucking possible for us. We would graciously appreciate it massively because we love each and every single one of our listeners. Anyone that listens to us, we adore and appreciate you. Thank you so much. You can also find our hashtag WBW Way Back Wednesdays. We release an old interview from our old channel onto our brand new one every single Wednesday at 6 p.m. This week were the Chronicles of Daniel Hills - Doodles from My Brain. You can also come and find us on the old Facebook at the Chronicles of Podcast. Hit that like, give us loads of comments, send us loads of shit. Why not? Fuck it, who cares? Gemma, do you know where else you can find us?
Down a dark alley.
Unfortunately not, but you can find us on the Twitter at TCO Pod. And do you know where else you can find us, Gemma?
In a bouncy castle eating candy floss.
Nailed it. But also on the Instagram at TCO Pod. You can also find us on TikTok at TCO Pod. We release shorts and videos nearly every day for you to thoroughly enjoy, get in your face, just enjoy, just come, even have a laugh. I think I asked people if they were tired and hungry today. So I'll leave that with you. Just go on TikTok at TCO Pod and go enjoy. You can also come and find us finally on our deliciously brand new, spankingly sexy and incredibly gorgeously wonderful new website at www.thechroniclesofpodcast.com. You can find out all about us. All of our shows are on there. All of our sponsors and affiliations are on there. And anything else you want there, there's a Just Give a page for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is also on there. The Chronicles of Podcast. Downloaders, reviewers, sharers, raters, tell all of your friends about us. Reviewers, allow us into your ears. But most importantly, I really should have cooked that mince off earlier because I really want to have a spag bowl, but I completely forgot. And I was going to put some plum tomatoes in and maybe sprinkle a little bit of cheese and get some paprika. I like paprika. Oh, shit, sorry. Anyway, I massively diverted up there. I do apologize. The Chronicles of Podcast.
There you go.
And to follow
for a
that,
sample.
follow us on at Codswallop Pod.
Follow Gemma and James at Codswallop Pod on Twitter,
Instagram and
Facebook.
Be there or be triangle. I did a star.
I'd much rather be hexagon.
Ooh, lovely. Well, gentlemen, I think in that case that we've been talking enough Codswallop this week. I have been Gemma.
Can I add some Codswallop before you end?
Oh, go on then.
Is that all right?
Of course you can.
Let me get involved in your show for once, Gemma. Let me talk Codswallop. Let me tell you my Codswallop for this week.
Okay.
For this special edition episode, whatever you want to call it, interview. It really, really frustrates me, right?
Yep.
When you have a shit, okay, and it's always in a public place, okay, and then it won't flush. Or it'll flush, but other bits won't, and you can't get rid of them. So you put absolutely shitloads of paper down to get rid, and it still won't fucking go. It's really frustrating. That's my Codswallop for the week.
Well, that's very good Codswallop indeed. It's a physical Codswallop.
Yeah, never in private, never in your own private home or your own private bathroom. Always in public.
Always when you're at someone else's house.
All that.
That's when it gets me.
Yeah.
It's the worst part is when you're in a school.
Wait, what?
That's meant to be a joke. Never mind.
It's all right. We'll just edit out the what and go very nervously.
It's all right. You can leave it there. It's fine. I was literally joking. There was no way in fucking hell I would ever do that. Just to clarify.
Yes, I'd like to hope that. Don't worry, that our salty tadpoles would know that you're joking. So it's all good.
I fucking hope so.
Yeah, we have established though that you are, so it's all good. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And I mean, I feel as though I should bring some Codswallop now. And let's end the show how we normally begin the show. Piers Morgan is my Codswallop. The fact that he's like all over the place. It's like, his face is everywhere. I can't stand the man. And all like bus stops and everything. There's literally like posters.
The half devil face thing I keep seeing everywhere.
Yeah, it's like half devil and half angel face.
Yeah.
And it's like, honestly, I can't stand the guy.
He's trying to stay relevant. So he thinks that storming off TV shows and saying things inappropriately will keep him relevant. That's all he's doing. Just pay no attention to him. Who cares? He's like Chris Sutton. He's another absolute twat.
I don't know who that is.
Chris Sutton is a former Celtic football player.
Okay.
He's English, but he played in the Scottish leagues. And unless you played for Celtic, every other team is fucking shit. And he basically will say irrelevant. He's like Piers Morgan of the football world. Will say irrelevant shit just to stay relevant. It's like, you don't need to be here anymore. He's like Katie Hopkins. You don't need to be here anymore.
No.
You've done your piece. You can fuck off now.
Yeah.
So, the best thing to do is just be like, oh, that's what they're doing because they want to stay relevant and stay in the public eye. I'm interested. Whatever. Cool. You do your thing. You crack on. Oh, I've got a show now. I can say what I like. I think everybody has that.
Yes. It's called a podcast.
Yeah. So, but I should tap into people's phones and work for a newspaper. Mm. Cool. Let's John Oliver this shit, shall we? Cool.
I tell you what, recording with you visually is much more. I mean, it's fun listening to you, but it is so much fun actually watching your faces. Just like, cool.
Come on down, Saturday 20th of May. You'll get it all in your face.
Yes, exactly. So, Jamie, have you come up with a Codswallop yet? Because I mean, come on, now you're letting down the side.
It's good. I'll tell you something that annoyed me last night. There we go. This is a proper dad fucking Codswallop, isn't it? What is the point in silent letters?
There is no point.
There is no point. When you're trying to teach your daughter to read a book about a lamb and she keeps saying lamb because she's learnt in school to read the individual letters, do you know how frustrating that is to try and say,
Brilliant.
Actually, that one, ignore it. But it's there. Yeah, I know. You got to ignore it for this word. So do you ignore it for this word? No, it's supposed to be there for that one. What is the point in a silent letter?
There isn't. And also, as a dyslexic person as well, it's like a real pain in the ass. The fact that you've got to like think, oh, is that one word? So I was talking at work earlier today. I'm going to talk for another half hour or so, I reckon. But I was talking at work today, and I was like, because I got the sort of dyslexic brain, but also a bit of a silly brain as well, which I'm happy to. I own it and whatnot. But for years, I used to say amination instead of animation. And it's like, because the M and the N in my head just got switched around. And I mean, when I was a kid, I used to say soddage, but that was also because I was a kid. But yeah, it's like, so now when I say animation, I really have to think about it before I say it to actually make sure I say it the right way, if that makes sense. It's it's fun having a backwards brain.
I remember in Camelot when there used to be knights.
Yes.
And that famous flying dinosaur, the pterodactyl. Fuck off. Doesn't need to be there. Lose the bloody extra letter.
People do it when they're making it the language. Just thought, I know, it'd be really funny. What we should do is just put letters in randomly.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Well, they could do one, the stupid knob.
To be frank, who's Frank? You're not Frank, I'm Frank. Why do you want to be me for?
We shouldn't get on a tangent about the English language. We'll be there for another hour.
But it is true, though. Yeah, definitely. When you're trying to teach your daughter how to read, and it's like, oh, yeah, that's got to be so hard.
Yes, it's really frustrating.
Lambert is brilliant, though. I'm going to use that.
Yeah. Yeah, or sword.
That's a good point. I didn't even put it together, that one. Yeah. What? Why is there a W?
Yeah.
I'm getting angry about the English language now. Fuck's sake.
Well, that's how I like to end an episode. And I'm definitely ending it this time.
Soothy.
What's that?
Soothe.
Oh, soothe.
Oh, yeah. Why is there an E on the end?
Jim, get out of it now before it explodes.
I
would. Well, in that case, I really truly think that we've been talking enough Codswell up this week. Oh yes. I have been Gemma.
It's your boy TS.
And I have been Jamie, wondering why there's a K in front of knife.
Well, fuck off. Just
bye.
Oh, bye. Bye. Sorry, bye everyone.